Welcome to the chaos. Pull up a seat. It's Doug, Todd, and Brandon bringing that ADHD heat. Attention deficit, hyperactive politics on blast. We jump topic to topic, cause the news moves fast. Yeah, we break it all down, what's wild in the world. From headlines to hot takes, every thought gets unfold. EHP, come ride the wave. Where the politics pop and the tangents misbehave. EHP, you know the vibe each week. We rant, we laugh, then we ask what's geek this week. So buckle up tight, it's a beautiful mess. 3 brains, 1 show, and 0 attention left. The DHP, yeah, we keep it unique. Politics first, then what's geek this week?
If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to support the podcast. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. Your star ratings and reviews help others discover this podcast. So take a moment to share your thoughts. They appreciate you, and let's keep the conversation going. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to ADHP. That's Attention Deficit Hyperactive Politics. Now, will you please welcome your hosts, Doug, Todd, and Brandon.
All right. Thank you. Thank you yet again, Mr. President. All right. Here we are. Todd, how you doing? No Brandon
Doug?
this week.
Oh,
But,
hold up. There we go. Sorry.
Uh-oh, what's going on? You sound very loud.
Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, wow. Yeah, it is loud. All right. So is that better? Yeah,
I hope so.
oh, shit. Why is it so fucking loud? Why is it peaking
Yeah,
so
it keeps
much?
getting loud.
Okay, that's really weird. All right. Yeah. Oh, God. Why is it doing that?
What is going on?
I don't know.
Live production, people.
I don't
Live
know what's going on, man.
Oh, don't yell. Oh, please don't yell.
I'm not trying to yell. It's weird. It's like I'm speaking normally. I think, and it's in the EQ on OBS is peaking like into the red.
Is there a sensitivity button on your mic itself?
I mean,
Maybe
no.
it got cranked because
No.
you sound really gainy.
I mean, I did turn it down on the gain on my mic a little bit, but I think it was a little high. And then I turned the gain down on the software too a little bit, so that should help. But yeah, initially I didn't have the right EQ pulled up for you, so you were talking and it wasn't coming through.
Yeah, you sound way more blown out than usual. Usually you have a crisp, nice sound.
Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I did tweak with my settings a little bit the other day. Is that better?
No, that's worse.
How about now?
It's still really, really dominating in a way that it's not usually.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Eh.
I legitimately haven't touched too many things. I mean, I adjust the EQ on it the other day for something, and then I forgot that I did that, but I changed it back, so it should be okay
I've got
now.
my volume way down, so.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll see how it sounds to the listener when we hear it back later.
Yeah.
Hopefully we haven't destroyed anybody's eardrums. But we have good news this week, Todd. We don't have to talk about anybody. We don't have any deaths to talk about. No Americans being murdered by their government, and no celebrity deaths of note this week. But we do have the wonderful, fantastic news for those of you that follow the sports. The Seattle Seahawks are your 2026 Super Bowl champions. Super Bowl LX. LX. That means it has the leather trim and the extra finishes.
Oh yeah. It's like the Lexus version of the Toyota.
So, did you watch the game?
For the most part, I had it playing in the background and like was looking over once in a while, but mostly I was watching for the commercials and for the halftime show, and the opening too. So, but yeah, it was on, and my housemate was in my room watching it, and he was.
Did you manage to catch many of the commercials?
I did catch the one for Steven Spielberg's next movie, this Disclosure. It looks like it's going to be another alien invasion movie. He really likes those. Um,
Oh, well, that's what he cut his teeth on, right? With like what
Close
was
Encounters.
close? Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw the trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu, which was like someone said, "I hope this is in the movie because if it's not, I'm going to be upset."
It was not much of a trailer there. I didn't even think about the fact that it was a movie trailer. It seemed more like a bumper.
Yeah,
Like a commercial
it
bumper.
was a tease for sure. Yeah, but yeah, someone says if I don't see them getting pulled by a group of tauntauns in the snow in the movie, yeah. I was like, I get it. That was kind of cool. When I first saw it, I thought it was like a beer commercial because the snow and you see like the hoof prints in the snow, and I was like, oh, it's probably a Budweiser commercial. And then I saw the nostrils of the tauntaun. I was like, oh, that's not a horse. And it's like, I was like, is that? And I got really excited, and then it pulled back, and as of course you see the rest of the tauntaun. I was like, oh, this is going to be for something Star Wars. And then you see Din Djarin handing the reins to Grogu to get the tauntauns to start moving. That was cool. I really liked that.
Yeah, I was watching it and I was just like, what? This looks like a tauntaun. Is this a Star Wars thing? This is a Star Wars thing. And I was like, oh, it's Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes.
So on the whole, were you satisfied with the commercials? Did you like it? Did you like them?
I mean,
Did you feel they were kind of a
I
letdown?
would have liked to seen more in the commercial, maybe, but
That
they
was
were
that was
good.
my Yeah, that was my reaction. Was like it really wasn't a lot of great ones. Like that Duncan one with all the TV actors. That's
All,
going to
all
be
the
forced
de-aged
probably.
actors to make them look like they're teenagers. Yeah, That- I mean, it was ridiculous. I was like, wait a minute, Ben Affleck looks weird. Why does he look weird? And then you see Joey from Friends. I'm like, why does Matt look? He also looks weird. And then I realized when we saw like Ted Danson with brown hair, it's like, oh, they de-aged everybody for this stupid beer commercial or Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
Yeah, I saw where Jason Alexander was talking about how they made him in 35 again, and he couldn't believe it. They're like, they gave me back my 30s.
I don't know if anyone can tell, but I've been sick the last few days. And my voice is a little hoarse.
Oh, I am picking that up. Yeah,
No,
hopefully
I
you'll feel
wasn't
better.
screaming at the game. I wasn't yelling for the team or anything. I just when I turned it on, I was like, oh, I'll have it on for Chris if nothing else. And then when they started getting points, it's like the other team's not getting any points. What are they? Are they just not in it today? What's going on? And I think right around when the Hawks got having 17 or 18 points, then that's when they started getting some points. I was like, oh, these guys are totally gonna lose this game. They're not winning. This is
Well,
hot.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it's like there really wasn't an opportunity to lose your voice during this game because the Seahawks just kind of slowly pulled away. The Patriots couldn't really do anything all night, and the Seahawks just it was only it was 6-0 at halftime, right?
Yeah.
Or did they pull it out to like I know at one point it was 9-0 and then 12-0.
I don't remember
Oh,
what.
it wasn't.
I
They
don't,
got the field goal right before half to make it a 9
okay.
nothing game.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember when they pulled ahead and before the halftime show. I just remember watching the halftime show saying, "Man, I wish they would have at least had like a translation in the subtitles." You know.
I would say, yeah, I don't know if you had tried. Did you try putting subtitles on your TV?
My TV automatically does it. So
And
and
they didn't. It
they
didn't have English subtitles.
it said words in Spanish is what it said.
That reminds me of the infamous The Matrix video game for the PS2. The instruction manual had stuff in it like to to drive the car, press the accelerate button. It's like, what's this? I have a controller with an X in a box and a circle and a triangle.
Which
Which is
which
the
which which one is it? Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, okay, well, I mean, this is cool music and all, but I don't know what he's. I mean, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I didn't know what he was singing about. But I gathered he was like, he said, "God bless America," and then he started listing off all the countries that are in in the Americas. You know, not
in
just
North and South America as
and
a
like
whole. Yeah.
and as well as Central America too. I think so.
Well, yeah. Central America is technically part of North America and part of South America.
Okay, but
Like,
then at one point there's like another singer is like, who is that Lady Gaga? Who is that? And I couldn't tell because
Lady Gaga, yes.
she didn't have her usual like fucking weird outfits and makeup and stuff. She looked like a normal person.
I didn't recognize her at first, and also because I had been hearing all the Spanish up to that point, I didn't recognize it as her singing English either. Like, it took me a couple of lines where I was like, "Oh, she is singing English." Like, that's English, okay? Because I was like listening for Spanish and I was like,
Yeah,
"What is she saying?" And I didn't recognize it as Lady Gaga at first, so it was very, yeah, that part confused me. But I really liked the show. I really liked the vignettes and the set and the way he was the story that was told visually.
right.
I would have been fine with it. Could have been twice as long as far as I'm concerned. Like, it was cool. It was like being on a tour of the Americas, specifically Puerto Rico in this case. But it was like being on a tour of the history and the culture. It was neat. I liked it. I thought it was really well produced. Again, no idea what he was saying. I also didn't care. Like I said this to Tony earlier. Like I could understand Kendrick last year either, right? Like, I still appreciated it.
Yeah. For some reason, it's not broadcasting over on Facebook, but it is on YouTube and Twitch. So that's okay. I guess
Yeah.
I should have double checked everything before I left to go to the store earlier. So, oh well.
But but the victory over the Patriots for the Seahawks, it was nice because, for anyone that's been a long suffering Seahawks fan, they know how the last Super Bowl against the Patriots ended.
Yeah,
And it's been a horrific nightmare for us, and it was nice to get that monkey off our back, exercise that demon, I should say.
exercise the demon.
Exercise your demons. You can't have any fat demons.
Can't have fat demons. That's funny. Oh, you know what? Maybe I
So,
can get the YouTube or the Facebook running. Hold on.
yeah, it's okay if you can. It's okay if you can't.
I mean, either way, it's gonna get the whole thing is gonna get posted on Tuesday night or Tuesday morning rather, Monday night, and then you know
As per usual, yes.
as per you.
So you asked the question, like, what was going on with the Patriots? Why weren't they scoring? And I did actually have an article here about how the Seahawks basically shut down the Patriots. Um, One of the first points they bring up is the Witherspoon pressure wrinkle. So the Seahawks basically had a guy who usually his job is to cover a wide receiver and stop them from catching balls. Well, they have a really fast guy, and they used him to blitz at the quarterback at times.
Oh, okay.
And pretty much every time they did it, they caught the offense off guard, and it created excellent pressure that really screwed up the Patriots. And then outside of that, the Seahawks also got a lot of pressure with just their front four. And so when there's 11 guys on the side of the ball at football, and when you can drop 7 into coverage and still make the quarterback hurry up with only 4 guys rushing at him, it makes life hard on an offense. You have 5 offensive linemen to block. You can leave in a tight end and a running back. You can really ultimately have 7 plus guys blocking. And if you still get pressure with 4, it's like, what are you going to do when you only have like 2 or 3 guys running a route?
Right.
Makes life hard on it. And then, so and that's kind of what this article goes on to talk about that as well. So that was the Seahawks. Really, it's the same thing that happened to my Huskies when they played the
Oh, okay.
the Michigan Wolverines in the national championship a couple years ago. That was a Mike McDonald defense, actually, the same guy who's the head coach of the Seahawks now, and their defense did to us what the Seahawks just did to the Patriots, which is get pressure with 4, blitz when you don't expect it, and yeah, it kills. Even great offenses can get killed by it, and the Patriots did not have a great offense to begin with.
Yeah.
And then Kenneth Walker, the running back, he won the most valuable player of the game award. I honestly thought it should have been the kicker. The kicker tied or set a Super Bowl record with 5 field goals. And for a while there, the Seahawks were only scoring field goals, and the game didn't see a touchdown until the Seahawks scored to make it 19-0. I believe at one point it was 12-0, and I said this is a Don James, who is an old Husky coach, style of game, where he wants to win every game 20-0 on 6 field goals and a safety, and that's the Seahawks were on that way, and then they went and ruined it by scoring a touchdown.
What'd you do that for, man? What the hell? Yeah.
And an unsung hero in this game, as this article also points out, Michael Dixon. The Seahawks have the best punter in the game, and he kept flipping the field on the Patriots. In the first half of the game, the Patriots were, after the Seahawks scored the opening field goal, the Patriots were able to pin the Seahawks deep each time and force them to punt from their own end. And in a lot of situations, that sets up the team that forced the punt to be in good scoring position on their next drive. But
Yeah.
every time Michael Dixon flipped the field on the Patriots and made them work from their own end. And then once the field started going in the Seahawks' favor, he was able to just pin them deep inside their own end all game long. And Patriots had to drive the length of the field so many times, and against the best defense in the NFL, it's not going to work out most of the time. You're gonna screw up at some point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know you're not a football guy.
I
You
mean,
don't.
I'm like,
you don't watch.
yeah, that makes sense. I suppose. I don't really know, but okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
You know your stuff when it comes to the sports ball. I don't, and I get some things. I understand, like scoring the opposite side of the field is what your team is supposed to do, and I know what colors my team is, and that's really about it. I
I
don't
know
really,
which laundry I'm rooting for.
yeah, right, yeah. So yeah,
And then to tie it into Renton, because that's where we're both. That's where you live. That's where I'm from.
yeah.
It's also where the Seahawks operate. They operate out of
Yeah.
Renton. They that's what keeps them humble
Oh,
and hungry.
I also found out yesterday from my roommate Chris. Shout out to Chris. That number 13 is one of our neighbors, somewhere on the hill up here. So
Oh, you know what's funny is I don't even know who you're talking about when you say number.
I don't
13.
know who. I don't remember his name. That's why I said his number. So, but yeah, they somebody else, one of his friends knows where and all that stuff. So I guess the whole neighborhood is gonna give him a gift basket for I guess he's a new neighbor.
Okay, so that's Ernest Jones the fourth, who's actually the starting inside linebacker for the Seahawks. He's a huge reason why they've been a good defense this year.
Yeah.
So that's a big time player. So yeah, if you get a chance to meet him, you definitely should.
I don't know if I'm going to, but I know Chris wants to.
But yeah, the fans cheer a triumphant Seahawks at Super Bowl homecoming in Renton. So there was a police escort followed by 6 white buses, each carrying players and coaches. About 50 fans wearing green and blue, waving flags or banners, were hanging out to welcome the Seahawks home.
Yeah.
There's of course going to be a massive parade in Seattle on Wednesday that the city is expecting up to 1 million fans.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Yeah, the stadium event is already sold out. It was a free event, but it's already had all the tickets claimed. But the parade, you can go anywhere and set up on the parade just like you would for any other parade. So the parade is available for anybody listening. Uh, I didn't go last time. I probably won't go this time because I got work and my kids got school. But the thought has crossed my mind to take them out of school and go down to the parade. Because
I would.
how many more of these are we going to get? You never know. I'm hoping we get 2 more in the next 2 years, to be honest. I'd love for the Seahawks to be the first team to ever win 3 in a row. No one's ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row. No team. So
Yeah, no, you guys should totally come down and well, at the very least, I'm sure it's going to be on TV, so you'll be able to watch it at home.
yeah, I expect that.
Yeah.
I remember watching it last time. Last time the highlight was Marshawn Lynch on the bow of one of the Ride the Ducks vehicles. One of the Ducks.
The Ducks, yeah.
And he was throwing starbursts to the crowd. Not starbursts, but Skittles. Sorry, Skittles, of course.
Yeah.
He was throwing Skittles to the crowd while taking swigs of Fireball.
That's cool. No, back in 2016, I had gotten a job driving Uber, and as the story goes, roommates just got home. They're loud. I picked up a football player, and I'm not entirely sure who it was, but I'm guessing it was probably either Marshawn Lynch or the other really popular guy. I can't remember his name right now. That they were playing
Russell Wilson?
Wilson, yeah. It was either one of those two guys. I mean, it was right around the time that the Star Wars Force Awakens was going to be coming out in the next few weeks, kind of thing. So I got this ping to pick somebody up at the hotel across the street from the airport, because at that point Uber wasn't allowed to pick up at the airport. So I went and picked this guy up, and this large black dude and this tiny little, beautiful woman. She was, 5'5", probably 110 pounds, if that. Tiny little woman. And he goes, "Hey man, thanks for picking me up." I was like, "No problem." I was like, "Hey, how do you have any idea what's going on with the Seahawks?" I was like, "No, dude, I don't even pay attention to sports ball." He goes, "You don't?" I was like, "No." He's like, "All right, that's cool. What are you into?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm really anticipating this new Star Wars movie coming out in like a few days or a few weeks." So we spent the whole 10 minutes of me driving him to where he was going, talking about Star Wars. And like the next day, I saw that same guy on TV, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's the guy I took to his apartment in Seattle from the airport." So.
You called it sports ball, and it reminded me of. So did you see the meme back in 2020 with Trump's face, where and the caption of like spaghetti Tupperware when you leave spaghetti in it? You remember that?
Not really, but it sounds funny.
It's actually a guy that I'm friends with from Tacoma, who's he works for the governor, but I know him as a photographer through comedy. I knew him through Narn Van, and he's the one who did that meme that went incredibly viral. Well, he had such a great post on Sunday. He was like, "Today is the biggest day of the year for people who like to say sports ball. It's like their Super Bowl."
That's funny.
He always nails it.
I was actually wearing my sports ball shirt yesterday too.
Oh, yes, and the Seahawks scrimmaged enough yards to get a few goals.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not going to get too much into politics tonight, but we do want to talk about the Kid Rock halftime show, which I heard that if you needed your own halftime show, you're the kind of person that also needed your own drinking fountain.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yep.
Yep. But apparently Kid Rock appeared to be caught lip syncing during his Turning Point USA halftime show.
Yeah. He messed up some lyrics. Yep. He pulled the mic away.
To mime his way.
He pulled the mic away from. He pulled the mic away from his face when he was still singing. So yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he said Rock seemed to mime his way through this performance of Ba Wata Ba, and there's clips being mocked on social media. Um, Kid Rock is blatantly lip syncing. It's all pre-recorded, and he wasn't even trying. One person wrote on Twitter,
Yeah.
with another adding, "Kid Rock forgets his lyrics during his song, showing all the mega far right that he wasn't even singing." What
My
a complete and
my
utter
favorite is the people's like, it's sad when people are upset that the halftime show is music sung in Spanish, but they're over there singing along to ba what ba, the bang a dang diggy diggy, up to the boogie and up to the boogie. So I know
Well, I like that.
I know I fucked that up, by the way.
Well, no worse than Kid Rock apparently did.
Yeah.
Um, but it also it reminds me of the meme that was going around in the lead up to the Super Bowl where people are like, "Oh, people don't like Bad Bunny because if you translate his lyrics, it's the I like him, I like him underage. Some people call it statutory. I call it mandatory." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, wait, sorry, that's an actual Kid Rock lyric."
Yeah. What's really messed up is that's from a song off of the Osmosis Jones soundtrack.
Oh shit, is that like a kids movie?
Yeah, it's an animated film with
Fucking
Chris Rock.
Orlando Jones, right?
No, Chris Rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's he's Osmosis Jones. I think it was like an amoeba. It was like an anthropomorphic amoeba. But yeah.
And then it is, in case people might think that this is just what people on Twitter are saying, it does apparently turn out that the not only was he lip syncing, but the whole thing was pre-recorded. It's a pre-recorded track. So there you go.
I mean, it's not uncommon for live performances to do that, but
Right.
it's just they usually have they usually are at least good enough to know how to lip sync to their own music.
Yeah, they're trying, and they know their songs.
They're also not half an hour. They're not usually half an hour late too. And that's what happened
Right.
with part of I think what happened was Turning Point USA tried to do a live stream on multiple platforms, but was unable to on a couple of the platforms because of licensing. They weren't allowed to perform certain things.
So are you saying it didn't even line up with the actual halftime?
Yeah, it started late.
That's amazing.
He was still singing his music when the game was in its third quarter.
Nice. And I bet that would have pissed people off that didn't change in time.
I've seen people say, well, yeah, after the halftime show, I stopped watching anyway.
And since we're talking sports, the Olympics is also going on right now.
Yeah.
Don't have a whole lot to say about that other than there are some stories where there are Olympians that are they're expressing their mixed emotions over representing America at this particular point in time, which who could blame them for?
Right, exactly.
So Hunter Hess from Bend, Oregon, he had said during a press availability last week that just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. He said it's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I think a lot of people aren't. I think for me, it's more I'm representing my friends and family back home, the people that represented it before me, all the things that I believe that are good about the U.S.
Yeah.
So that's a very reasonable statement.
Yeah.
And Olympians, I understand Olympians want to be careful because they are there to represent the country and they don't want to speak out of turn.
Well,
but
the other thing I saw was that Italy is doesn't like ice, period. And so much so that the area for the athletes was called the Ice Lounge. And they changed the name of that because of ice to the Winter Lounge.
Oh, that's funny. We'll take whatever support they can get.
Yeah.
But of course, so you heard the statement from Hess, right? Totally reasonable.
Yeah.
What do you think Trump said about it?
Oh, he probably called him un-American, or he's, demented, or some other variant of those things.
Yeah, he called him a real loser, says he doesn't represent his country. He shouldn't have tried out for the team, and it's too bad he's on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, our government is completely fucked right now, and it's going to take a long time to recover from this. Even I really hope we are able to get rid of him in this next election. I hope that we take over whatever it is that we need to take over in the midterms. You know, but I I suspect that we may be stuck with him for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough Senate, I don't know if there's enough Senate seats up for grabs to get a 2/3 majority or the votes needed to convict in the Senate. Um, they're almost certainly going to get the House. The Democrats are almost certainly going to get the House, and they're almost certainly going to impeach Donald Trump. But I don't know if they'll have the votes to convict again. But they'll stop him for a while with the impeachment proceedings. And as long as if we have control, if the Democrats have control of the Senate, even if they don't have the votes to convict, if they have control of the Senate, they can force the trial to happen and not get any other business done.
Quiet.
Um, Snowboarder Chloe Kim did step in to defend Hess. She said that my parents being immigrants, this one definitely hits pretty close to home. I think in moments like these, it is really important for us to unite and kind of stand up for one another for all that's going on. And I think that I'm really proud to represent the United States. And are you being attacked viciously by a dog right now, Todd?
I am I'm being snuggled to death by my roommate's pity. He's outside my door going, "Let me in. I'm so lonely." So now he's
I
like,
hear you in here. I know you're in here.
now I'm petting him and he's happy. Huh,
Oh,
buddy? Everyone say hi to D'Artagnan. Hi, D'Artagnan.
hey, D'Artagnan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to take us to the geek, Todd, I think it's time.
All right, yeah. This first one I have here is I've actually experienced this. A guy mocks a man for playing with toys and gets shut down. This kind of happened with me when I was at a pop culture convention here in Renton back in I think it was I want to say 2017, 2016. Renton had their own Comic Con. It was Renton City Comic Con, and it was a 3-day event: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and and on Sunday, of course, this time of year is football at NFL. And I was walking past the bar with a group of other people who were in costumes and various displays of nerddom, and somebody in the bar goes, "Well, look at all the nerds." And I go, "Says the guy wearing whatever number Lynch was." And it's like you're wearing somebody else's outfit, right? No different from the guy who's dressed up like Obi-Wan Kenobi. The difference is you like football, he likes Star Wars. He goes, "You're a fan, you're a super fan, and he's a nerd. What's the difference? The fandom." So think before you say something stupid. He goes, "Man, I never thought of it like that." So, but what happened here is this guy is like, what is with the sudden trend of grown men playing with children's toys? When do these air quotes men also make spaceshipy sounds? Oh, do these men also make spaceshipy sounds when playing with them? And then all these responses from people who are like, the best one though is like someone posted a photo of Henry Cavill, Superman, the Man of Steel, like painting his Warhammer figurines. It's like, dude, you don't have to be a kid to enjoy these things. You can be an adult. Some of these things actually cost a lot of money, and then the average kid is not going to have these things unless their family is wealthy. So don't be a dick. I mean,
Yeah, you want to know how old I was the first time somebody my age or younger said I was too old to be playing with toys. Do you want to take a guess how old I was?
I would say probably in your teens, like 15, 16.
I was in the 4th grade.
What?
So I was like 10, maybe 11,
Wow.
and we were riding the bus. I never really took the bus to school except for 4th grade, where I was going to a private school, and I lived within walking distance of their downtown Renton campus, and they had just opened the new campus out in Maple Valley Highway, but still Renton.
Okay.
Um, and so I could walk to that school, and they had a shuttle bus that took us to the other campus. So that's like the only time I ever took the bus to school was doing that. And I remember one day talking about my X-Men action figures with my friends on the bus, and some kid, like couple years, like an 8-year-old or something, like he just goes like, he's like, "You're in the 4th grade and you play with toys?" I'm like, dude, I'm 40 and I still play with those toys.
Right. I mean, in my 30s and 40s, I reconnected with some of my fandoms that I had lost connection with. You
Yeah,
know, when I was, because I thought I was supposed to grow out of these things, and
yeah.
so I let go of a lot of stuff.
I reconnected with mine after moving. One of my moves where they all kind of got brought out, and it was like, oh, they're either get it thrown away or I got to take them with me. And so I ended up taking them with me,
Nice.
and now I
So
shoot with them every now and then.
every once in a while, I'll share photos of my I in my room I have like some bookshelves. I don't read books, so I on the shelf I have my shelf of nerddom, and I have like Star Wars stuff, and I have Transformers, and I have Ghostbusters, and yeah, like that's mostly it. There's a lot of those things, but and I've since when I moved here, I had a handful of things I put up there, and I was like, oh, I kept putting stuff on the shelf, and now I don't have room for anything else. I have to figure out if I'm gonna stop buying stuff to put on the shelf or find a new shelf to put up. So, but yeah, anytime I see stuff like this, it always it's like how angry are you that you have to like shit on somebody else's stuff? You know, you don't have to like what I like, but don't be a dick about what I like. You know.
Yeah, don't yuck somebody's yum. Is kind of
Exactly. You know, you don't have to like it. It's it's fine. But if I'm saying, hey, I enjoyed this. This was cool. Yeah.
Now, it's one thing if they were like, hey, did you know that X show that you like is actually secretly Nazi propaganda, and here's all the ways that it's coded, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that about this. That's a different situation. But it's like, if something's not harming anybody and you just think it's dumb, like, yeah, those are opinions you can keep to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I used to be one of those guys who would say, "Oh, you like Firefly? God, that show sucked." I don't see it anymore. I don't. I still don't like Firefly. I've tried rewatching it a couple different times over the past 10 years, and each time I watch it, it's like, oh yeah, this is why I didn't like it. you know, and but I don't go out of my way to shit on brown coats anymore. So, although I do poke at them once in a while, because I created a meme with the meme of the Drew Carey on Whose Line Is It Anyways? Start a fight without using politics or religion, and I said, Mandalorian is a better space western than Firefly. How, you ask? 3 seasons and a movie. But
I mean, it's really a slam dunk, right? Like, it's almost like mean to do that because it's such an obvious.
I mean, legitimately, I've said this to people like, no, the Fox screwed up. They didn't know what they were doing. It's like, man, I watched it. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. So, the first like 6 episodes was boring as hell, and once I got past those first 4 or 5 success episodes, it was actually, it was a decent show, but it wasn't like this the most amazing thing ever, and it's sad that it's no longer with us, and so it's like, if it's such a great show, why hasn't there been like a revival series or even a reboot? None of that's happened. I haven't even seen any fan made stuff. Usually when
Oh,
you're on, oh, go ahead.
I'd say there's definitely fan made and like stories and fake videos and stuff like that. There's definitely fan wishes for it, but I think it's never happened because one, it's Joss Whedon and he became problematic. I think there was a little bit of momentum for it to happen, maybe like 10 years, like right before the Joss Whedon uh, Me Too stuff kind of broke out,
Yeah.
and then that really kind of obliterated any momentum for it. And basically, Nathan Fillion's just been too busy with other. He's had good regular work all the
Right?
time.
All the stuff he's done since then has been so much better. Like, I even said in a review of Fireflies, like, despite the cast, the amazing cast, minus um, um, Adam Baldwin, not related to Alec or Billy, because he's a red hat. The rest of the cast is fantastic. I love everything else they've done since then. Alan Tudyk is amazing. You said Nathan Fillion, and then the rest of the cast, and I can't think of all their names, but those are the ones that I know firsthand their names because I like all the other stuff they've done since then. Like Resident Alien, fantastic show. Castle, The Rookie, all great shows, And yeah, I don't know. I think it's dumb to poo on other people's fandoms. I try not to do that anymore. I mean, like I said, I like to poke a little bit at them, but I don't go out of my way to look them to seek them out to make fun of them.
I mean, it certainly used to be part of the geek culture to kind of rival with other
Yeah, like,
geeks cultures that you didn't agree with or didn't like as much, and it was kind of a. But I think times have changed.
yeah,
I think people it's more about inclusivity now. I think.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, I think just people in general also don't like having their fandoms shat upon. So they're like, okay, let's not be like that anymore. It was very much a Trekkie thing that they would poo on Star Wars, like the movie
Right.
Fanboys. Have you ever seen the movie Fanboys?
I have not watched that. I think I want to.
Oh, dude, you definitely want to. Um, it's about these I think it's three friends who are on a road trip to Skywalker Ranch to try to get a copy of Episode 1 before one of the three passes away from cancer. And through the whole movie, all this stuff is happening. They're trying to get to the thing, and they're running into all these various characters. And a lot of the characters they run into are people who were part of those fandoms or those things, like Carrie Fisher and the guy who played Lando Calrissian. They both make cameos in the movie, and there's references to a bunch of other like fandom things in there. Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes also were part of it. It's a funny
Ah,
movie.
okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's actually written by the guys, the guy who did the Goldbergs and the guy who did Ready Player One. So
Okay.
so yeah, it's worth watching. It's worth purchasing if you like Star Wars or Star Trek for that matter, because it makes fun of both. Really, it really kind of like they really razz the Trekkies in this movie a lot, and I think it's hilarious. But all right, let's get on to the next thing. I just realized we didn't do the intro music. But okay, that's okay, no big deal.
I figured that was your choice. Like I was like, yeah, you just okay. We can skip it.
I just forgot. I know my brain is kind of in a fog as it is with the cold, but maybe that's why. It looks like the next story I have here is fans will have to wait just a little bit longer for the next DCU movie, which is a Batman spinoff. And I think it's going to be better because they're moving it from, I think it's September to October, the new Clayface movie, and it's supposed to be a horror film.
Oh,
So, and you're not into DC, right?
not particularly. No.
You know who
Like I've
Clayface
been.
is?
It's a Batman villain, right?
Yeah, he's basically like He's a shapeshifter. That's why he's called Clayface, because he can make himself look and sound like anybody.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him before.
So the backstory of this guy is he is an actor who was supplementing his income by working for some mafia types. And at least this is a story I saw from the Batman the Animated Series. It may be different in the comics, I don't know. So he's using this like makeup, this like putty that allows him to like make him look like anything he wants. He can, and what happens is he screws up somehow with the mafia guys, and they throw him into a vat of this stuff. And basically, he overdoses on this stuff because it has like a chemical thing to it, so it like fucks with his DNA. That's how he's able to like. He put the stuff on his face, and you can mold his face to look like whatever he wanted. But then he got.
That seems to be like a DC staple to like fall into a vat of something that modifies your DNA.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with the Joker, right? And
yeah, and then like, isn't Two-Face also like half of his face gets?
Yeah, he gets burned by acid.
Stuff?
Yeah. So there's always chemicals involved with the bad guys. There's always, but I don't know if it's always like DNA rewriting. But I think that's the first one that had like that kind of thing. I think the acid fucked up Harvey Dent's face, but he already had issues of multiple personalities, and that just solidified it.
That's something they didn't explore in the Nolan trilogy, did they?
I mean,
like his multiple personality. He really didn't have a multiple personality. He had a dark side that he embraced after he got hurt.
Yeah, they didn't really explain it as well as they should have, but that's kind of what happened. He was already kind of having some issues with like going from this really, cool guy. Harvey himself was like a good guy. He was a decent human being.
He was a Gavin Newsom type.
Exactly. Oh my God, yes. So basically, he was already his mind was kind of fragile already, but he was masking it pretty well. He hid it very well. When he was unable to mask anymore, he wasn't able to hide that anymore. That's why he just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna let it out." So and
who do you like better as Two-Face? Tommy Lee Jones or Aaron Eckhart or whatever his name was?
You know what? I liked them both for different reasons. I like Eckhart's one because it was more grounded in reality and it looked fucking terrifying.
Yes.
Although Tommy's version of the character is very much like the cartoons or the comic books. He's an over-the-top, talking to himself.
It's a more impressive performance, I think.
Yeah.
From Tommy Lee Jones.
I think,
especially since it's Tommy Lee Jones, and you're like, he's like the most serious, no fun person you can kind of think of, and then he really lets loose.
I think you read that he hated working on that movie because he hated working with Jim Carrey, because Jim was like the most non-serious person ever. He was always fucking around, and it bothered him.
Well, he was probably like in character as the Riddler the whole time.
Yeah, it's true that he does method quite a bit. So yeah, that makes sense. That would bug the hell out of Tommy Lee Jones.
I would think.
Right. And then, all right, the next story I have here is, it looks like The Wizard of Oz is coming back to TV after 28 years. Do you remember
Which I didn't realize it was gone from TV.
I hadn't even, same, actually, now that I think about it. When was the first time you saw The Wizard of Oz? Do you remember?
Oh, I'm sure it was. I've seen it several times, of course. I'm sure the first time I watched it, I'm probably too young to remember it. Like, I'm sure my mom put it on at some point when I was just an infant. But I certainly saw it at some point in grade school when it really stuck with me and gave me nightmares of witches and little dancing men.
I do know that the witch terrified me as a kid.
Yeah, as a kid.
The cackling and the green skin really freaked me out.
This goes to kind of my sensitivities, but like the scene where she melts horrified me.
Oh,
because I'm like, this is a living. Like, I understand she's bad. She's the witch. She's bad. but it's still like a person freaking like being melted in front of your face. Like that's horrific. Like, and she's screaming, I'm melting, I'm melting. Like, it's,
What a
oh my God.
world!
Like,
What a world! Yeah.
she's conscious for every moment of it. And,
Oh my
oh
God!
God.
Yeah. I didn't think of it like that. I was just like, that's really scary. I don't like that. But yeah.
See, that's the kind of kid I was, though. I was just like, oh my God, this is gut wrenching.
But very analytical growing up, huh?
Yes, such is my curse.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's going to be coming back to TV. It says here 19. Okay, it began airing on CBS in 1956 and drew massive viewership and continued to air yearly on TV for the next 40 years, airing on CBS for the last time in 1998. Now, according to the Hollywood Reporter, this is being reported on Nerdist.com. The film will return to broadcast TV for the first time in 28 years on MeTV this fall. So,
And it's crazy because I would have swore that like sometime between 1998 and today, I've seen The Wizard of Oz on TV, like flipping through channels or whatever. Like I swear I would have come across it for a minute at some point. Like it's hard to believe that it, like all those times I watched it, it was either somebody's movie or
right.
before 98.
Have you ever done the Pink Floyd thing with the Wizard of Oz?
No, the where you sync it up, and no, I haven't had that regular access to Acid to plan that.
Well, you can somebody actually posted that it synchronized on YouTube. You can search for it on YouTube. And it doesn't play the whole movie. It's only like the first like 60 minutes or something of the movie, if that. Either that or it cuts out halfway through. I don't know, but yeah, you can watch it. It synchronizes with Dark Side of the Moon, so it's actually kind of cool. But it says here the cinematic musical classic will air multiple times during the primetime hours throughout October as part of the MeTV Halloween Bonanza. This is the network's month-long celebration of classic horror, sci-fi, and family-friendly favorite films. This included the marquee Saturday night showcase hosted by horror host Sven Gulli. Thanks to the massive success of Wicked, the original Wizard of Oz has seen a resurgence of interest, although it hasn't appeared on broadcast television since 1998. It did become a staple in cable television in maybe that's where you saw it on cable. So, in a statement,
Misleading,
huh?
misleading. That's a little bit of a misleading headline. The broadcast is doing TV is doing a lot of work there.
Yeah.
So it has cable, not broadcast. Okay.
Network.
Okay.
I mean, well, they did say network television, so you know.
Yeah. But okay.
Broadcast TV isn't cable TV.
Right. Broadcast means like
Network.
well around here that's like 4, 5, 7, 13.
Yeah. That's local broadcast TV, like network television, NBC, CBS, all that kind of shit.
ABC bullshit.
Yeah. Thanks for.
Hey, you want to tell us about Tomb Raider?
Oh yes, dude! Oh my god, I just saw this. Tomb Raider, I guess, is getting a. It's not just that it's getting a reboot. I guess it's becoming a TV series. So that in itself makes me excited because I love the Tomb Raider games and I dug the Angelina Jolie movies, and the one that came out 10 years ago was really good too, I thought. It says here from comicbook.com, earlier this year, delivered the first major update on Prime Video's Tomb Raider TV series, and fans weren't able to get enough of the first look at Sophie Turner. So
that's Sansa from Game of Thrones.
Okay. I don't.
So that's a pretty big get for Laura for playing Tomb Raider.
She's that. If that's who that is in the image, then yeah, she looks the part.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's the same woman who did it in the remake that came out in 2016. I think it was 2016.
She was pretty young. She was in the middle of Game of Thrones then, and still
Oh, maybe not
decently
then.
young.
But yeah, there's a photo
Yeah,
of her wearing like the tank top and the Lennon glasses. And there's also some other photos. God, I can get my words out. On X or Twitter of her wearing like some weather winter clothes,
tactical gear.
winter tactical gear. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. This is all legit. Like this looks cool.
Yeah, I'm
I
looking forward
had
to
no
it.
idea this was coming, and it's already being filmed. So this is great.
Yes. Does it have a release date anywhere in here? I'm looking, scanning ahead. Doesn't appear to have anything. Either way, I'm looking forward to it as well, and you know, makes me want to play Tomb Raider again.
Yeah, Tomb Raider was one of my first all-time favorite games back in the PlayStation era. And then I, I didn't. I went to Xbox instead of PS2, so I didn't play Tomb Raider again until the more open world exploration version that came out and like
Right.
Xbox 360, Xbox One. Like that was a good game, but I didn't have enough time to dedicate to it.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know if what's the other Uncharted. Uncharted, the game engine for Uncharted. I don't know if it started with the original Tomb Raider or it was its own thing, but I know the newer versions of Tomb Raider use the same game engine as Uncharted. So all the controls and everything are the same.
Yeah, it was Uncharted did its own thing, which may be an Unreal Engine thing. But yeah, Uncharted was the Naughty Dog guys, so like the people that made Crash Bandicoot made Uncharted.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that's
The,
correct.
the Uncharted game is cool and everything, and it was just like I remember playing, and going, "Wow, this is like playing like Tomb Raider, except for it's a guy, and
Yeah,
it's not Indiana Jones." So,
yeah, it was kind of an Indiana Jones Tomb Raider like idea. Yeah,
in fact, I think the new Indiana Jones game that came out a few years back, they
borrowed from it some.
uses the same game engine because all the movements that you have for
Oh,
climbing
sure.
and for fighting and everything is all the same.
They might all be Unreal Engine stuff because like Unreal Engine is in everything these days.
But no, I'm saying like there, you know how like you can do like the shimmy thing across the wall. There's always a bar or a shelf that you can grab
Yeah,
onto.
like with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, yeah, and that does it too. Yeah, and there's always a parkour aspect to the game, which probably comes from the Assassin's Creed, where you
Yeah, I think they make that with the Unreal Engine, but I'm not
yeah,
100%.
and then there's like you know, there's always somebody has a bullwhip, even if it wasn't Indiana Jones. I think Laura Croft at some point had access to a bullwhip, which she used to like swing across from
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But yeah. So all those things, all the game mechanics of all those games are now also in the newest of the Indiana Jones games. All right, so let's go ahead and go over to the Am I the Asshole?
AITA. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 Ha. 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 AITA. I'm a petty person, okay?
All right. So do you want to do yours first, or do you want me to do mine?
Let's do yours first because I think mine might actually have a disagreement on mine. We'll see.
Okay. Says AITA for leaving because my sister-in-law hid my shoes to keep me from taking walks. Can you guess kind of what that is? Do you think that, this is I mean,
Hid my shoes to keep me from taking walks, so I'm guessing that the sister-in-law. First of all, you're living with your sister-in-law. That's a red flag. Uh, but is it like a kid that's doing it for an older person because they want the person to hang out with them?
no, actually it looks like I read this the other night too. Basically what it is I guess this they needed someone to watch the kid for a month. So the sister came over to watch the kid for her brother and her sister-in-law, and I think that's what it was. Let me go ahead and just read it because I'm actually thinking I'm probably putting together two different stories. Sorry if My sister-in-law has 3 little ones, and her husband, my stepbrother, had to leave the country for work for a few months. I offered to stay so I could help her out where needed. She happily accepted. I live across town, so it's not that far. I was there for 3 days when my sister-in-law commented on me going on daily walks. I have taken a daily walk for at least a mile since October 2018. Yes, even with a cold. Yes, even in cold weather. Yes, to all of it. On nice days, the walk is usually 4 miles. At my sister-in-law's, I started taking a path that was about 2 miles. Asked if she wanted me to watch the kids while she got some exercise. She scoffed and said that she was too busy. It must be nice. I was a little puzzled since I was offering to help, but the comment kept coming. The comments kept coming. She kept trying to poke holes. Quote, but it's not really a mile every day, right? And what would you do if you broke your foot? Would you get anxious if you couldn't take a walk? Question mark. Uh, I don't know. It seems like she has her daily thing that she does, regardless of where she's at, and I think the sister-in-law thinks that uh, she's doing too much or something. And it says here, and then one morning I couldn't find my shoes. My sister-in-law woke up an hour later, and I was eating breakfast with the kids. I asked her. She told me to go check the back door, and when I'd gotten back, she pointed them out. She pointed at them by the door and said I must have missed them. I took my walk after telling her that her joke wasn't funny. She was annoyed when I got back and told me that she thinks I need to see a therapist over my anxiety / obsession. Told her that I do have a therapist, and she said clearly that I need a new one because this one wasn't helping. I asked her point blank, why does it bother her so much that I want to take a walk? She said, I was supposed to be there to help her with the kids, and I'm disappearing for hours at a time. I told her that my walks take about 30 minutes. I'm doing it while they have downtime. I put my shoes in the guest room with the rest of my things, and they were gone the next morning. I said, fuck it, and packed my things and left. My sister-in-law called me that when I was on my way home and said I was overreacting and being childish, and this is why I'm single and alone. Oh my God, you're a bitch. I told her.
I was going to say, I think we know who the asshole is on this
Yeah,
one.
right. I told her that I
It's
don't.
definitely the sister-in-law. Like,
Yeah.
she's obviously, of course, she needs to pack up and go. Yes.
I told her that I don't play these stupid games, and I would still pick up the girls and stay until she got home from work. But that's she's on her own for everything else. Am I the asshole? And edit here, she says, okay, I did not expect to be told NTA or not the asshole to this degree. I thought a lot more people would have arguments as to why I was, since it had to do with taking care of kids. No, not at all. You were doing what you needed to do. You were going above and beyond, even, sticking around even after she was home. And she has issues. Clearly, she's not going to therapy for. Is what I'm thinking.
That's a completely crossing boundaries, especially when like this person's here to help you,
Right.
and now you're being demanding about how they help you. So no, you need to relax, and they absolutely needed to get out of that situation.
Or if it's that big of a deal, maybe you should pay somebody to actually watch your kids.
Yeah, hire a professional if that's what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't,
So
you
so
can't
for
be
mine,
you can't be demanding
Yeah, go
like
ahead.
that. You can't be that demanding when it comes to family.
yeah, and they're doing you a favor. So come on.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So on mine, this one might be not as much as a slam dunk, or maybe it is, just not the way I'm thinking. Who knows? We'll see. So am I the asshole taking a photo of a woman's fashion accessory in a public music festival? So he says, I am a 65-year-old man. By the way, these always come off. Maybe this is just the way things are presented here, but your story, my story, they always feel fake. Like they always feel like someone's just making something up so that they have an excuse to make a post on Reddit. But here we go. I am a 65-year-old man, and I still get out and enjoy the world around me. I was at a music festival on the grounds of a bar in Austin, Texas, when I saw a woman holding a purse with a nice gold chain strap. On closer inspection, it was not a purse, but an iPhone. I thought this was quite a statement about how the role of the phone has evolved in our society. It's kind of a curious framing. I snapped a quick photo of it since I thought it told a story of how the role of the phone has changed, and also my daughter would think it was pretty cool. About an hour later, I was surrounded by several women pointing at me saying, "There is the asshole taking pictures of women's asses." I realized what had happened and I asked them if I could explain, but they just kept yelling at me, and eventually the bar security came and told me I had to leave. Uh, Unfortunately, Reddit does not allow me to post the image, but a key fact here is the woman was wearing fishnet shorts with a thong, and while the photo I took had the phone purse clearly in the center, it did also inadvertently include a side view of an ass cheek.
Uh-huh.
But I have been disturbed by the accusations made by the woman and by the fact that they had no interest at all in hearing my explanation. If I could have had a real conversation about this, I would have offered to delete the photo. I've discussed this situation with several people to find out if I'm the asshole or were the women being assholes. Some say if I was 25 and 6'3", they wouldn't have minded. My wife says I should have asked permission. Generally, my feeling is you're trying to get a quick pictures in public places. Asking permission is not required. Okay. Others have told me if you were out in public showing off your tattooed cheeks, you really have no grounds to complain. So what do you think?
I think that yes, you should have asked for permission. It, just because they're dressed a certain way does not give permission to take photos.
Yeah, I think this guy's definitely the asshole. He's framing this in the best way he possibly can for himself, and it's still you took a picture of her ass surreptitiously without permission, and quite frankly, you're now putting her down for the way she was dressed, and you are basically there's no explanation here of like you say you took this one photo, but then the people came up saying there is the asshole taking pictures of women's asses. So did you take more than one photo? Were there other purses that you thought were interesting? Like something's left out here.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's omitting some information here.
So I think that's the first one where we actually agree that the person's the asshole.
Yeah, he
instead of not the
absolutely. If
asshole.
he didn't ask her permission first, I mean, he is a boomer, so it's not surprising that he didn't think to ask. And typically speaking, if you're out in public, yes, there's no expectation of privacy. But that was at a bar. It was not in public. You were in a private bar, privately owned building.
Yeah, they were apparently on the. It says it's a festival on the grounds of a bar, so I'm guessing it's outside. But still, it's
yeah.
it's a yeah.
And this is something I learned from going to conventions and stuff. Because someone's dressed up does not give you permission to take photos. And most conventions will say, if you see someone dressed in a costume that you think is cool, ask them first before you take photos, because at least you can exchange information and you can tag them if you go to post it online. That way they can add it to their collection of photos of when they were out doing their thing. Yeah, you just don't randomly take photos and then say, "Oh, I was taking a picture of her purse."
Yeah,
There's
the
no-
ass got in there by accident.
Yeah, there's no fucking way some 60-something-year-old dude is taking a photo of someone's purse. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's the whole thing felt like bullshit.
Yeah. He was.
All right, well that wraps up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that wraps up a nice little show. Take a little breather from politics this week.
Yeah. Right
Celebrate,
on.
bask in the glory of the Seahawks victory.
Yay,
We are world
Seahawks.
champions.
Go Sports.
Yay. Hooray. We're going to go Hawaii. Yay.
I'm going to Hawaii. Yay. Bum.
All right, remember to like, subscribe, leave a review if you haven't ever done all that crap before. You know what to do. You're an adult on the internet. And we'll see everybody next week.
Good night.
Yay!
Oh, wrong button. Here we go.
Good night again.